Ukraine's general staff confirms attack on oil depot in Russia's Bryansk region. Zelensky focuses on security, Trump on immediate ceasefire, details of Paris meeting, and why we see media report tension between Zelensky and Biden over mobilization in Ukraine. The latest news next. On the night of December 11th, units of the Unmanned Systems Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine successfully attacked an oil depot in the Bryansk region of Russia, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The attack was carried out against the Bryansk oil depot, a loading point of the Druzhba oil pipeline. Its function is to receive, store, distribute and ship diesel fuel to tank trucks and railroad transport. The oil depot is also actively used to supply Russia's occupation army.
According to the available information, the tank farm was hit with a shell followed by a fire. A massive fire broke out. The results of combat operations are being clarified.
French President Emmanuel Macron is reportedly considering a potential European peacekeeping mission in Ukraine as a safeguard against renewed Russian aggression. He plans to consult with Poland, which he views as a key ally for such an initiative, reported by European Pravda citizen Rzeczpospolita, a Polish news outlet. The proposal involves deploying peacekeeping forces from European countries. If an agreement to end the current phase of the war between Russia and Ukraine is reached, these forces could serve as a deterrent against a new Russian attack. Such an agreement is expected to be initiated by the newly elected US president. According to the report, discussions on this potential mission will be a central topic during Macron's visit to Warsaw on the 12th of December. It is also likely that Macron broached the idea with US President-elect Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky during their meeting last Saturday, as numerous leaders gathered for the reopening of the restored Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Journalists speculate that Macron also discussed this proposal in his one-on-one meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer in mid-November, and his discussions with representatives from Northern European and Baltic countries on the 27th of November. An expert from the Paris-based think tank IFRI, Ellie Tannenbaum, provided comments for the article regarding the hypothetical design of such a peacekeeping mission. They think that the project would require a force of up to 5 brigades, around 40,000 personnel, with Poland potentially taking command of one brigade due to its military capabilities and strategic location. Camille Grant, former Assistant Secretary General for Defense Investment at NATO, commented that if a peacekeeping mission were to be implemented, it would be most effective with participation from as many countries as possible, enhancing its deterrent impact. However, he emphasized the importance of at least symbolic US involvement in the initiative. Grant speculated that the Netherlands would likely participate, and after a change in leadership, Germany might also join. Arguments over mobilization, race and age in Ukraine have caused tension between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Joe Biden, reported by The Telegraph as reported by European Pravda. About details, the dispute over mobilization has been described as one of the most acute of all the disputes between Kyiv and Washington in the previous phases of the war. In recent weeks, the United States has been making public and private calls for Ukraine to lower the age of mobilization to 18, arguing that the shortage of personnel on the front is becoming critical, which is why Russia is able to make advances in the East, and that after the change of power in the White House, Trump may cut off military aid to Ukraine. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said during his trip to Brussels for a NATO ministerial meeting that holding the fronts requires not only funding and ammunition, but also people.
But, for example, getting younger people into the fight, we think, many of us think, is necessary. Right now, 18 to 25-year-olds are not in the fight, he said.
The US saw as an unprecedented attack on Biden-Zelensky's recent assertions that Putin is only afraid of Trump and perhaps China, and that supplying weapons to Ukraine and diminishing Russia's military potential, and not the mobilization age in Ukraine are the key priority. The Telegraph contextualized the situation by saying that the age structure of Ukraine's population means that there are significantly fewer 18 to 25-year-olds than people of older generations, which is seen as a danger to demographics in the future. In addition, mobilization age has already been lowered from 27 to 25 years. Reuters reported that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has used his first meeting with US President-elect Donald Trump following the US elections to emphasize Ukraine's needs for security guarantees in any negotiation process aimed at ending the war with Russia, reported by Reuters, citing sources familiar with the discussion on the 7th of December. About details, Reuters sources stressed that the meeting in Paris between the three leaders, Trump, Zelensky, and French President Emmanuel Macron, did not cover specific details of any peace plan. However, the US President-elect reiterated his desire for an immediate ceasefire and negotiations to bring the war to a swift end. One source noted that Trump was friendly, respectful, and open during the discussions and appeared willing to listen. Nevertheless, Reuters highlighted that neither Trump nor officials close to him working on Ukraine-related matters have provided a clear answer on how they envision ending the war, nor has there been any response to Ukraine's insistence on receiving security guarantees as part of any settlement. This has created a growing sense of uncertainty in Kyiv, further heightened by Russia's capture of new territories in the Donetsk region and its continued drone attacks on cities for beyond the front lines. A source within the Ukrainian president's office said that the Paris meeting underscored that peace requires guarantees and that a mere ceasefire would be insufficient, as Putin could violate it again, as he has done in the past. Reuters sources stated that Trump is currently thinking about all the details. Several officials close to Trump mentioned that he focused his meetings on building personal relationships, a key aspect of his diplomatic approach, and that ultimately he alone would decide the course of future actions.
The generally cordial nature of Trump's direct dealings with Zelensky differs from some of his public pronouncements about the Ukrainian leader on the campaign trail, including calling him the greatest salesman on earth for having solicited and received billions of dollars of US military aid.
Macron and Zelensky were on the same page at the Paris meeting, but were careful not to seem like they were cornering Trump, one official said. The French leader and Zelensky worked in synergy to outline how they viewed the situation while underscoring that without US support it would be very difficult for Kyiv, the official added. About more details, Ukrainian sources cited by Reuters noted that Zelensky believes that out of all the international political actors, Putin fears only Trump and perhaps China. He also thinks any lasting peace will require Washington to be truly strong. Two other sources noted that Macron used the meeting to emphasize that Europeans have already done a great deal to support Ukraine and are prepared to share the security burden with the United States more evenly. Another official said Macron and Zelensky explained to Trump that Putin in 2024 is not the same as he was in 2017 when Trump last dealt with him. The same official added that the rapid decline of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and the setbacks faced by his close ally Russia were also presented as reason for adopting a tougher stance on Moscow in future peace efforts. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.